Number 4, allowing God to work through you, surrendering control. Your calling isn't something you accomplish on your own. It's something you allow to flow through you. Come on. The more you try to control everything, the more you resist divine flow. Your calling isn't something you accomplish on your own. It's a collaboration with the Most High. When you say, God, I want to embrace my calling, I want to start living in purpose, it becomes a collaboration with the Most High. A collaboration. One person steers the boat, another person rows the boat, and together you get to exactly where you're meant to be. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. But so often we want to steer the boat and row the boat. You got to be able to give up control to certain areas of your life so that God can start to work through you. Because when you try to control everything, you end up resisting divine flow in your life. So often we're constantly complaining about, we're not getting this, we're not getting that. I feel like God's not blessing me. But we rarely ever look at ourselves and ask, am I blocking the blessings? Am I getting in the way? Let's start there. Ask yourself that question and be honest. Be honest, right? Be honest. Instead of asking, how can I make this happen? Ask, how can I let God work through me in this situation? Come on. We get so consumed by everything going on, we're constantly saying, how can I make this happen? How can I make this work? Take a pause. Breathe. How can I let God work through me in this season? How can I let God work through me in this situation? It's a totally different question you are asking. It's a totally different framing that you're taking with whatever you're navigating. How can I get through this? How can I allow God to work through me through this? Come on. Come on. That hit me because I need to really start prioritizing that, right? So often we get in our own heads, I got to figure this out. Hold up. I may not know what next season holds. I may not know how I'm going to overcome this thing. But rather than focusing on how I'm going to figure it out, why don't I open up and say, how is God going to work through me in this situation? How is the Most High going to infiltrate my life and start to do amazing things, right? Come on. Yes, it says this shift removes pressure and allows you to operate from faith rather than force. When you're in the mind state of, I got to figure everything out, I got to get this done, I got to make this happen, you're moving with force. When you shift to, how can I allow God to work through me through this situation? How can I allow God to help me navigate this situation? You move from force to faith. That shift will shift your life, right? It's a very different energy when you're trying to forcefully get after what you think you want versus when you're moving in faith and allowing God to direct you to the things that actually are for you. It's a totally different energy, you know? And it starts with a choice. It starts with a decision by you and by me, right? It says you must build habits of stillness, prayer, meditation, and moments of silence in order to hear divine direction. How are you ever going to hear if you don't ever listen? How are you ever going to hear if you don't ever carve out stillness? We're asking questions, and we're hoping the answer just comes to us while we're still indulging in entertainment. We're over-consuming social media. We're constantly around people. We're just going in and out of the house. We're running around, doing all these different things. When are you ever giving yourself the space to even listen and hear what's going on? You're not. You're not. So you have to build a habit of stillness. And however you want to cultivate that in your life is unique to you. That's the beauty of this journey. You got to find your own unique grains, right? A grain for me is meditation. A grain for me is going for my run. A grain for me is a nice hot cup of coffee in the morning. You got to figure out your unique grains and start to cultivate the grains in your life to help you stay grounded, aligned, and in tune. Come on. When you're called to step forward in faith, don't hesitate. Oftentimes, clarity comes after obedience, not before. Oh God, I'll be obedient. I just need to see how it's going to work first. Whoa. Hold up. Nah. That's not what obedience and faith requires of you. It doesn't require you to have the clarity first. It doesn't require you to ask how it's going to work out. It requires you to lean into it, not hesitate. and just trust that things will work out for your highest good, because they are. God's never going to direct you in a way that's going to do harm to you. So you have to literally ingrain that in your mind and keep saying that to yourself when you feel like the direction that you're being pulled in is causing you harm or it's going to bring you danger. No, it's not. God will never direct you in a way that's going to bring harm or hurt into your life. Yeah, you might experience pain, but remember, with God, all pain serves a purpose. And you need pain. You need to go through those times where you feel pain in different areas of your life, because it develops the parts of you that need to be developed in order for you to keep growing and evolving into the person that you were made to be. The pain you're experiencing has a purpose. The pain you're experiencing has a purpose. You just have to believe in it. Our inability to truly step into that belief that this pain that I'm feeling is serving a purpose causes us more suffering, causes us to be rigid through the experience, causes us to only see how this is hurting us and not how this is a blessing in disguise, and this can be used by God to better me in the future, right? It says purpose flows through you, not from you. Purpose flows through you. When you open yourself up and you allow God to start working through you, that's when your purpose is going to start expressing itself in everything that you do, because you're allowing God to work through you. We are vessels to be used in the service of other people. That's going to look different depending on who you are, because you have a unique set of gifts and talents. But this vessel was given to us in order for us to allow God to work through us and touch the people that we're meant to touch. You know, Denzel said, "This is not mine. It's been given to me. Use what I have to serve others." You never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. We cannot take it with us. So we might as well learn how to use it for the betterment of the world, right? Make sure you take care of yourself, right? Because in order for God to work through you, you have to take care of all parts of yourself. And that means physically too. Take care of yourself, right? You don't need to be a hybrid athlete. You don't need to be out here wilding out and running marathon. That's not what I mean by taking care. Just be intentional with what you eat. Be intentional with getting some form of exercise in, throughout your week. Be intentional with prioritizing your sleep and rest. You're golden. You're taking the right steps, all right? You're taking the right steps.